Hey Bahamas! Today I want to talk about youth. And as youth, I wanted to think about our role today and what are we actually doing to take the wheel and steer our country in the direction that we want it to go. We can't all be passengers forever. So we have to embrace our role not as future leaders anymore, but as leaders of today, because it's becoming more and more inevitable. In the next 20 plus years, most of our current leaders will be gone. If not deceased, then hopefully through a good retirement in good care and comfort. But as of now, we need to think, how do we cultivate and promote leadership from among ourselves? Well, there are three things. We need to organize, educate, and empower ourselves. Now, in no particular order of what I just listed, I just want to give a brief outlook of what that could look like, right? So businesses are the major influencers in our economy. And because they also serve as heavy influence on government. Because when politicians need money to fund campaigns, where do they look to first? They actually appeal to those in business who have the money, okay? So the thing about us youth is, yes, we have a lot of vigor, and yes, we can make a lot of noise when it's time, but where is our leverage? We need to empower ourselves through entrepreneurship and work to own our economy, because that's where the real influence lies that we're looking for. Because why is it that now, when we have an idea or a solution in our mind to better our country, and even when we communicate it to a member of parliament or a political figure, our efforts usually seem to be in vain. And then this often leads to us getting discouraged or becoming disillusioned with government and politics. But the thing is, we need to wake up as to how the system works. We need to understand how the system works in order to change it. So why is the Chamber of Commerce so key in lobbying, along with other groups and professional associations? Well, it's because they understand the level of influence and the leverage that they hold. And so they band together, essentially. And if you're unaware of how they do this, it's probably because their method of organizing themselves is often through holding meetings, which obviously we're not privy to because we're not a part of their circle. But the thing is, we haven't organized ourselves in that way. We haven't organized ourselves to hold meetings, to discuss issues and policies that we want in place. Also, another method that they use to advocate is often through the newspaper and television news and the radio, which many of us are not into because we're actually natives to social media. The fact that we're natives to social media is great because social media can be our tool that we use to engage each other and to do the same. The question is, how are we using it to do so? In terms of educating ourselves, think about what you want and the issues that you want to address. Educate yourself on the subject and don't shy away from contributing to the conversation, because the conversation is where it all starts. So first, we need to empower ourselves through entrepreneurship and work to own our economy, and next we need to organize ourselves. There are associations and groups all over the Bahamas that are major influencers, like the Chamber of Commerce that I just mentioned, and trade unions, and other associations that represent professionals. And if you're fortunate to be a part of these groups, that's great. But what I'm talking about is organizing ourselves as youth, banding together as youth, empowering ourselves as youth, and advocating together as youth. So let's come together as youth, establish a common vision for the Bahamas, and go about our different walks of life and conquer to pursue that vision. We can even pool our resources together as we continue to build to make shit happen. because we can't wait to be handed the baton by our predecessors, and we can't demand anything of anyone, not even government, on our knees. We have to take it. And to do that we need leverage. So we need to empower ourselves, we need to empower each other. And I strongly believe that once we start demonstrating leadership through these three things, by means of building influence and leverage through entrepreneurship, working to own our economy, organizing ourselves to share and communicate our interests, and educating ourselves on issues and solutions and advocating. Once we start doing these things consistently, new leadership will soon rise up from among us that we can truly support to represent our interests in government. I do want to add that as youth, we make up 56% of the total voting population. So think about that. We have the numbers, we just need to organize and position ourselves. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment. I really want to know what you think that we should do as youth to fulfill our role as leaders of the Bahamas today. So let me know, and I'll see you soon. Also, follow me on social media so that we can continue the conversation.